It's showtime! To Europe, Physical Geography, Lecture 1. Today we're going to study the physical land features of Europe, and in particular, Western Europe, the western part. We should know that Europe is a part of a large landmass called Eurasia. And if I were to draw a picture of Western Europe, I'm just mainly concerned with the western part. And I'm drawing a little short, simple picture here. And we would call all this area here Western Europe. Europe is a large peninsula, and a peninsula is a body of land that's surrounded by water on three sides. So if I was to draw a picture of a peninsula, I would have a piece of land that sticks out here, and it would be surrounded by water on three sides. And this would be the land. 1, 2, 3. That is a peninsula. I've color-coded Europe so you may recognize the different parts, with the blue being Northern Europe, red being Eastern Europe, green being Southern Europe, and light blue being Western Europe. Northern European plain is a flat area that extends from France through the Netherlands, Germany, Poland, and into Russia. Northern European plain has a very good soil, and it's called Chernozem. And Chernozem is very good for one thing: farming. Very flat plain with very good soil is found in Northern Europe. Europe has 5 major peninsulas. Now remember, peninsulas, we said, are bodies of land that are surrounded by water on 3 sides, right? And they are the Scandinavian Peninsula, Jutland, the Iberian Peninsula, the Italian Peninsula, bet you can't guess what country's on the Italian Peninsula, and the Balkan Peninsula. The Scandinavian Peninsula is in Northern Europe. It contains the countries of Norway, Sweden, and part of Finland. They are all on the Scandinavian Peninsula. The peninsula is surrounded by the Barents, Baltic, Norwegian Sea, and the North Sea. As you can see, here is a picture of the Scandinavian Peninsula. Notice water here, 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 on 3 sides. That makes this a peninsula. Next, I would like to talk about fjords. A fjord is a steep, narrow, U-shaped valley that was carved out by a glacier. They are found in Norway on the Scandinavian Peninsula because this area has had many glaciers in the last ice age. And basically what a fjord is you have a mountainous region here that drops down, and usually there's water in the bottom of it, and a mountainous region rising up here. And in the middle right here is what we're going to call the fjord. And all this was caused by glaciers, slow-moving glaciers. As they move through, cut this rock on these edges and form like a canyon almost. Here's a picture of a fjord. Notice the sides here, how steep they rise up from the water. These were all cut by ice from a glacier. And as the glacier moves, it cuts away kind of like sand. on wood. It just carves out. And eventually, as the ice melts, we have water in the bottom of fjords. And these are all found in Norway. Jutland is the country of Denmark. It is on Jutland. Now, I bet you probably can't figure out why they would call this Jutland. Well, for one, it juts out in the middle of the North and Baltic Sea. It is also a peninsula since it is surrounded by water on how many sides? The Iberian Peninsula contains the countries of Portugal and Spain. And here is a picture of the Iberian Peninsula, with Spain being here and Portugal being here. Once again, it is surrounded by water on 1, 2, and 3 sides, making it a peninsula. The Italian peninsula contains Italy. Once again, here's a picture of the Italian peninsula, surrounded by water on 1, 2, and 3 sides. The Italian peninsula. The Balkan Peninsula is surrounded by the Adriatic Sea, the Aegean Sea, and the Black Sea. Once again, surrounded by water, say it with me, on 1, 2, 3 sides. And this contains probably the most notable country of Greece, which is located right here. There's many strategic waterways in Western Europe. A strategic waterway is a narrow body of water on an important transportation, keyword transportation route, or sea lane used for trade. Some examples of strategic waterways in England are the English Channel, the Strait of Gibraltar, and you've heard of this before, the Dardanelles and Bosporus Straits. The English Channel separates the island of Great Britain from France. Now, if I was to draw a simple little picture here, with England being shaped something like this, and France coming down here, then you have the Iberian Peninsula down through here. The English Channel is right here. At its narrowest point, at its most narrow point, it is 21 miles wide. Not very wide. 21 miles separating the United Kingdom and England from the rest of Europe. This brings to an end of part 1 of the Western Europe Physical Geography presentation. What I'd like for you to do now is to take the resources and information you have and be able to fill in the closed activity which accompanies this lesson. Also, don't forget to fill out your video summary on the form right below this video, which helps you to recall the information for the close. It also lets me know that you're doing your part as a student in participating in the class and doing the material and work at home. We'll see you for part 2. Stay tuned.